Welcome to the Microsoft Partner Innovation Vodcast, a new partner digital content series where we discuss the evolving ISV landscape and what it means for partners today. My guest today is Philippe Bottin, CEO of North America, SES-imagotag. And SES-imagotag is the world leader in smart digital labels and retail IoT solutions for physical retail, serving over 300 large retailers around the world. And so, Philippe, I'm so pleased to be here with you today.
Well, thank you for having me today. I'm very excited to be sharing a bit of our company and experience with you, and I'm happy to attend this podcast, from Vegas, from Shop Talk today, which is a very exciting trade show. We're happy to be there.
Super, and I'm jealous. I love Vegas. I wish I could be there with you, but it's good to be here on video with you here today. So I'm excited to talk today about the future of retail and how retail and commerce will look in the future. And so stepping back into stores again, how systems like SES-imagotag can accelerate and boost the shopping experience all around. And so just really, really excited about that. So I wanted to start off today talking about the customer's experience. And so while the online retail experience has revolutionized our modern way of living with ease and simplicity, it doesn't replace an in-store experience for many shoppers. And so to address the competition presented by the influx of rich, highly customized online shopping experience retailers are faced with, it is interesting to see the type of work that you all are doing to help create a much richer experience. And so I'd love for you to just share a bit about what you guys are doing and how your technology works. I'd love to hear also how and where companies can better synchronize their digital and in-person experience and purchasing journeys. And so over to you, Philippe, for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so we're a retail technology company. We've been around for 30 years, and we're very fast growing. I mean, the technologies we do are increasingly being adopted around the world. We serve, like you said earlier, about 300 retailers and operate in more than 60 countries now, in Europe, America, Asia Pacific. And what we do is we enable retailers to digitize their stores and to digitize their customer experience and customer journeys in the stores by providing an array of solutions around pricing automation, inventory management, marketing, in-store marketing capabilities as well. So we're very excited about all the techs that we deliver to our clients.
I have to say, I mean, if you just think about the two industries that were disrupted the most over these last 2 years, obviously healthcare, retail, I think something 20% GDP. And so, gosh, I'm kind of struck by how much transformation here. I mean, if you look at even just prior to the pandemic, retailers looked at technology and digital transformation as a nice to have. And so I think we're now in a place where it's not only necessary, it's actually the pathway to really delivering against customers' expectations. And so I think it's important that retail customers and partners are thinking about how this technology can empower them for better experiences. And so, I'm thrilled that we have this close partnership so that we can help evolve and transform that customer experience together. And so I've got another question for you. So for partners out there, who might need to set up a system like this? I'd love to know what are some of the important factors to consider in approaching this for their business. And so specifically, how do they start? And then what are the benefits to them in bringing this type of innovation into their ecosystem?
Well, that's a good question. So, it kind of starts with the why. Why do you need that kind of technology? And if you're, most retailers out there, they share the same issues. Their top line growth is a topic, margin protection is a topic, and cost control is a topic. And they usually focus on all three. And so what the type of benefits we can bring to our clients is across the three angles. So when we think about electronic shelf labels, very often we, refer to labor savings. And so we help our customers control their costs and control their operating expenses by doing that. But it's also a tool which is absolutely great in order to do margin control. So managing your markdowns, managing your pricing, your promotion is, allows you to have much better margin control. In today's market, everybody's been talking about inflation in the past few months. So inflation means that your costs are going up. So how do you manage how do you protect your margin in an inflationary market? Well, we allow our clients to do that very, very effectively and, like immediately and seamlessly. And then last but not least, talking about the revenue portion, we all go to stores, we all see the disruptions that the stores have gone through from a supply chain perspective, and all the out of stocks, the empty shelves when we walk in. And so our digital shelf solutions allow much better control of the on-shelf availabilities and, by better managing supply chains. And that has an immediate impact on, the revenue of our clients. So, that's in a nutshell the why people and clients adopt this kind of technology. Now, how they do it is and the way we recommend approaching this journey is cloud first. It has to be in the cloud. Everything we do is a cloud to edge connected devices. And so and that's where our partnership with Microsoft is absolutely key with that respect. In a matter of just under 5 years, 100% of our sales moved to cloud, and it used to be on premise. So it's been a major transformation of the way we execute and the way we encourage our clients to really go after those kind of digitization projects.
It's well said. I was just thinking, if you look at even just 5 years ago, companies, they would invest in projects and in improvement consulting engagements that were either focused on cost reduction, they were focused on improved customer experience, or focused on increasing revenue growth. It's impressive to me. I think what you guys have done is you've built a set of experiences that actually address all three. And so the work that you're doing actually, it addresses some of the issues related to supply chain and costs. It addresses some of the issues related to customer experience. And certainly it's an opportunity to deliver revenue growth for your customers. And so I'm impressed by that. I think that's likely the future state. I think ultimately we've moved past these scenarios where you're looking at each of those improvement engagements in a silo. And so it's exciting to see the work that you're doing. And so I am curious to hear a bit more about the work that you're doing, your initiative specifically called Positive Retail, and how that spans from farm to table. I read a stat the other day. I was just kind of actually impressed by the fact that 66% of shoppers are actually concerned about food waste. And then something like another 90% want increased transparency about the products they're buying. And so I'd love to hear more about the work that you guys are doing here.
Yeah, that's a very important piece of work that we do. We named it the Positive Retail Initiative because we really believe that there is more to it than the benefits we talked about previously, margin and cost control. Shoppers have different expectations now when they walk in the stores. They want to have, and if I can focus on maybe two topics. First one is better product transparency. People want to know what they buy, where it's coming from, what it's made of. And so that's an entire work stream around sharing more transparently product information, but nutritional facts. If you're on a specific diet, you want to know at the point of purchase that the products you buy really meet your nutritional requirements. And so by digitizing the shelf edge, we enable this capability for shoppers to be better educated at the moment of purchase. And so that's a really important element to bring the information to them directly. And then the second piece, in addition to product transparency, there is a growing concern around food waste. People are much more sensitive to the topic. So obviously, it's an industry-wide problem. SES alone is not going to be able to fix that, and Microsoft has a lot of partners too that operate around the food waste initiative. But we contribute to it by enabling clients to actually better manage expiration dates. To discount products as they get closer to the due dates. We also help on food waste by better managing on-shelf availability. You don't want to have too much inventory. You don't want to have not enough inventory. You want to have the right level in order to better manage your shrink, better manage your waste, especially for perishables. And so those are, very important. Those two programs, product transparency and food waste management, are super important to us.
Yeah, what's impressive here, I'm actually struck by just how much accountability falls on the retailers, our joint customers. And so what you just described really, I think, empowers them to seize the opportunity to improve both the transparency and the quality of the experience. And so, frankly, I'm actually struck down every time I go grocery shopping. I'll be thinking about kind of the expectations that I have on that retailer, and how a company like SES-imagotag is empowering that retailer to deliver a better experience. And so maybe on that same topic, how does data privacy, compliance, and security, how do they factor in to creating these customized experiences for shoppers specifically? And then I'd love to know, what should businesses do when they're looking out for whether or not a partner is suitable for them?
Yeah, so those are pretty significant topics too. So data privacy, compliance, security. Now we're looking at those from, I'd say, two perspectives. One which is a little static, and the other one which may be more dynamic. So what I call the dynamic piece is, how do you ensure data privacy security in time? The solutions we provide to clients, maybe just to give a bit of flavor here, our solutions, they go in the store and they remain in the store for 5, 6, 7 years. And so whatever a client deploys now is going to stay in the store for a very long time, a significant number of years. And when we think about those topics, we think about them in a dynamic way. How do we stay secure over such a long period of time? How do we protect the data over such a period of time? And so we don't just look at it from a static perspective and a snapshot way, but we look at it in time. And so to do that, we need our architectures to be extremely flexible, agile, and resilient. And so that's why also everything is in the cloud, because without a cloud-based platform and cloud-connected IoT devices, we would never be able to ensure the level of security and the level of security that we can guarantee now and tomorrow. We also work a lot on our networking protocols. Increasingly we use more and more standard technology, so Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, MPI IoT, in order to connect all those devices through standard technologies. Stores.
Yeah, I'll say, I appreciate your reference to the cloud. I mean, certainly we deeply appreciate the partnership. I think Microsoft as a platform company, whether that's providing the infrastructure, providing the access to the data, certainly helping reason better over that data, and even some of the processes and workflow and collaboration. I mean, this is important to us. But without your deep industry expertise, without this last mile of execution that you're delivering for us, this platform does not come alive. And so I think it really speaks to the power of the partnership that we have here. And so we deeply appreciate that. I know that we're a better company when we're partnering with you, and the depth that you have with your customers, with these solutions, and then how to continue to build into the future is just so appreciated. So hey, this has been a great conversation. I just appreciate your insights here. I'd love to just maybe end with one last question. I'd love your view as you look out into the future. What's in store for retail customers of the future and the partnerships that we're building together out in the industry?
That's a tough one. All right, the future of retail. We keep trying to look at it every year and understand where we're going. I think we're very much into. We're trying. So we talked a little bit about the positive retail we're trying to build. There's also a very human-centered retail that we're trying to build, and a sustainable one. And this is a stream of work which is absolutely fascinating when we think about how our digital solutions can enable this more human-centric or human-centered retail. And lately, we started a bunch of work around those topics, and specifically with, let's say, the United Nations. We partnered with them in order to leverage our assets in the stores in a better way. So At SES, we have 300 million devices deployed across all our stores, and those devices are looked at every day by hundreds of millions of shoppers. And they look at the products that we sell. There's information on a display, and so we have a huge retail media network at our disposal in order to bring information to shoppers or to associates. And one of the things we've done lately is to leverage these assets, these hundreds of millions of displays, in order to show information that is different from what we typically do. So typically we display product information, pricing information, but this time around, we partnered with the United Nations and their programs around Share the Meal, in order for people to be able to donate food for people that need it. And so we use our devices to try and empower communities to do good. We've also, so that was a recent initiative that we're very proud of. And we also partnered, so not with the United Nations this time, but with a different NGO, with the UNICEF, in order to also help people donate for Ukraine, for instance, so that they can help the children over there that are in dire need of funds in order to make up for. So we're trying to, as we grow our install base and as we grow the number of assets that we have in the field, we find ways to make good for communities and to make our commerce very human-centered. So that's a strong belief. We're very proud of the work we're doing there and the teams that are doing it. And we hope to onboard some additional programs like this in the future.
It's incredible. And if I understand right, the Share the Meal app was actually recognized by the Nobel Peace Prize Foundation. So just really incredible work. And it's not a surprise that your tech is somehow a part of that. So, and in fact, a lot of what you just said resonates for me. And whether it's customers walking through a grocery store, whether it's other use cases, I think, what is clear about the future is things will change a lot faster. Things will evolve. Things will transform at a rate that we just had not seen before. And I think keeping a centered vision of what is important for a customer, what is important for a consumer is just going to be so critical. And again, I feel like our partnership helps us do that better. And the outcomes, whether they're improving the shopping experience, improving the bottom line, improving revenue, or improving life for the humans on the planet. I mean, all of this ties back to how well we understand these use cases and how well we bring technology to the forefront to support that. So again, I just have to say how much we appreciate the partnership. Philippe, thank you very much for being here with us today. And again, I'm looking forward to the work that we continue to do together.
Well, thanks a lot for having me. It was a great time talking to you.
And super. And thank you again, everyone, for joining us on this episode of the MPI Vodcast. Please keep an eye out for more episodes and look forward to seeing you soon.